Yeah, my family was eating dinner, so you could tell 'em I was like,
What's up,
What's
everyone?
going on, guys? It's your boy JC. I am currently via work right now, but I didn't want to jump on here and have some talk with my guys while I did this. But I can multitask. Uh, but I just wanted to say welcome to the Nerd Dungeon. This is the Kliq Talk. We do this every Monday, or we should be doing this every Monday. Other than that, I mean, we haven't done it in a couple weeks, have we?
yeah, work
It's
life.
been
It was
been a
it
minute.
was very
We
much
had
life.
we've had some events in the past couple weeks. So we started our D&D this last weekend, and that was kind of cool. And
Hmm.
how'd you guys enjoy that?
Oh, I had a great time. I loved it.
I actually enjoyed it.
I think Kyle did pretty well as DM, which he's getting there. So
I mean,
um,
as a seasoned DM, he did a damn good job. So I had a lot of fun playing. So yes,
all right, and we'll be doing that. And I'm thinking we talked about doing it on Sundays, and I'm not sure if we're starting this Sunday or next Sunday, but we're going to be
probably
doing.
next Sunday because I know that we said every other week, and I don't want to get on his. I don't want to get on his wife's bad side
Right. So we'll
because
be
that's your
on.
sister-in-law.
Oh yeah, my sister-in-law will probably
Yeah.
rip my head off, but
Yeah,
we'll
she'll
go
be
on
like
next Sunday
pissed.
and do that. But we are here to talk wrestling, and we're here to talk entertainment. We're here to talk movies, TV, film, uh,
What's up, Joseph
music,
Kroll?
whatever we want to talk about. What's
Hey
going on,
Joseph.
bro?
So wait, can we let's do the big news because like I've been sitting on this for like a hot minute and I've been wanting to talk about it with my guys just to kind of get your opinions on things. I want to talk about Ring of Honor pretty much tanking. I think that's the biggest news that is basically leaked all over the web. And I mean, it's not even leaked; it is official. They're like not shuttering their doors, but pretty much Jim Cornette, WrestleMania, Wrestle Talk, Dave Meltzer, Pro Wrestling Sheets. Everybody is saying that this company is closing, and especially when one of its former champion showed up at Full Gear. So, like all the talent, I follow them on Instagram. They're pretty much spreading to the wind, saying, "Hey, we could take bookings." I mean, I was a huge fan of Ring of Honor. I've gone to several shows. I
Hey,
mean, I saw
Nadia.
the Bucks. That's where I became a fan of indie wrestling. Since I've lived in Charlotte. So I wanted to kind of get your opinions on what you guys think of what is going on with Ring of Honor.
I mean, it's a dick move, but I mean, if they're gonna repackage, rebrand, and come back strong, fine. But
I
if they
don't.
just gonna close up the doors and walk away, is a dick move.
Well, that's what Sinclair brought now because their parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, is going around saying that they're looking to rebrand and kind of go the way like an MLW, kind of like GCW and PWG, where it's more like they have a couple of guys that are on the roster set, and then they have a rotating roster of like superstars that'll come in, but it's mostly going to be like nobody talent. And a lot of people feel like that's not going to be a good move for Ring of Honor because Ring of Honor produced talent that for that honor system, when you think about it, with guys like CM Punk, Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins, Cesaro, Brian Danielson. I mean, I can keep going on. Now Nigel McGuinness. I mean, these are guys that all came from there. And we can call it developmental, but it really wasn't. It was like the alternative to pure wrestling. What you know, no, what like AEW is trying to do, minus the gimmicks.
So here's the thing. I liked Ring of Honor. I liked the premise of Ring of Honor. Let me rephrase that. I like the premise of Ring of Honor. I like that there was sportsmanship where they shook hands after every match. That's about as far as I like Ring of Honor. I mean, Ring of Honor was great for indie wrestling, but there's better indie wrestling circuits out there. So when I see them crashing and I see them going out of business or whatever they may be doing, which I don't think they're going to be back,
That's what I think.
my immediate reaction, it wasn't nothing to do with Ring of Honor. It was I'm sad that Danhausen needs to find a place to work now.
Once he gets his leg healed,
The Briscoe boys, they need to find a place to work now.
Briscoes are
Danhausen will
GCW.
always have a home on Thursday Night Takeover. Just saying.
I was going to say, I seen Jay Lethal signed to AEW. Then you got all these other.
Well, Matt Taven, you got to look at guys like Matt Taven that's a great wrestler, injury prone, but like still a damn good talent. I mean, I've met him personally. I think he's a great guy.
Jay Lethal is like Black Machismo. That was one of the better gimmicks out there where he.
We heard his music. He came out to an AEW. It was the Black Machismo music. Yeah. Full Gear he came out to. So I'm hoping they don't give him that gimmick. I just hope he comes out and wrestles, and he brings that because I heard at Impact Wrestling, and this is, what I heard Impact, Matt Stryker say to D'Lo Brown. He said last week, he said he felt bad for Ring of Honor and he felt bad for the talent more than he felt bad for the company because he felt that they put out a product that nobody else was putting out, that they were the predominant pure wrestle honor system wrestling. And it wasn't till like the Bullet Club came in, and I really shouldn't say the Bullet Club, I'll say the Elite came in, and they kind of, and Jim Cornette basically tears them up. He says that once the Elite came in, they kind of screwed the booking, and it became, let's get all our friends. I agree, like with what you said, that the talent kind of suffering. That's
the only part I seen that I was like sad for, that the talent they have some really good talent that needs to find place to work elsewhere, but I don't know what type of contract situation they're at. Like, if they can go find work elsewhere, I don't know if they could do that, because I know that every company has their own type of no compete clause.
So, no, ROH basically gave all the talent the opportunity to get out of their contracts if they were in a short-term contract. So basically, if you were in like your contract ended like this month or next month, you were able to leave early and work wherever you wanted. The talent was also able to leave early as now. And if they had a contract that extended to January or April or beyond, they were getting paid till March 31st, 2022.
That being said, we see more tag formations in WWE and AEW that we've seen in ROH's past. Like, do we see the Little Rascal or the Rascals come back instead of just MSK? So there's questions. There's a bunch of talent situations that we got to focus on.
I mean, it definitely is going to be guys like Grisham, guys like not even Trent. I mean, just like Danhausen. That's been like what we talked about. Danhausen and PCO. Like they were great. What's PCO going to do? He'll go back to Canada, and Danhausen's injured. I mean, he could always show up in MLW, but I don't think that's like his shtick, because MLW just doesn't like. I watched it. I mean, it's good, but it's not good. I feel like it's Lucha Underground 2.0.
Which one?
MLW Fusion Alpha. It's definitely the 2.0 show for Lucha Underground. So
I agree.
That's that's my opinion. I felt like we needed to talk about that, because that's been like, especially with Jay Lethal, that the news just came out that AEW is getting kind of messed up about him because of the fact that he had sexual harassment against 3 female superstars, and one of them got fired. And it was all on Twitter today, and like Tony Khan's kind of like weathering the storm with it. So I don't know if we're gonna actually have Jay Lethal versus Guevara for the TNT title on Wednesday.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of questions left up in the air for ROH for the competition for ROH. I mean, do they come back? Do they come back with better programming? And
That's up to Sinclair, so we'll see.
And here's another question: is what takes over for those local spots? Like here in Tulsa, ROH is like an every Friday night at midnight thing. So what's going to take over that? Is it going to be another wrestling program, or are they just going to crap the bed on it?
I think they're crapping the bed personally, but that's my opinion.
What's up, Smitty?
Smitty,
What's going on, guys?
Hey, so Smitty, I want to ask you, Full Gear, what'd you think?
I didn't say it.
Oh, probably one of the best wrestling shows ever, hands down. This year, 2021 best wrestling show, hands down.
It was good. It was really good.
That feel good moment. I'm going to say the feel good moment. I mean, you already know who the champion
That was
is.
the feel good moment,
right? You know, page one. I'm not. I mean, I feel like a dick if I tell you.
I'm gonna say spoilers. Page one, and
I mean, it's 2 years in the making, so obviously we knew that was going to be a title change. But
the whole
Bob, did you see it?
The whole nod from Nick was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. Like the whole Bucks doing the nod was like a step in the direction of like, because Omega supposedly he's wrestling with an injury, a real like he's actually got wrestling. He's been wrestling injured for a while, and that they want to give him some time off to recoup. And that his last show for the year is going to be in Mexico, fighting Hijo del Viqueño, the son of the Viking. If you guys don't know Spanish, he's fighting in AAA, so he'll be in Mexico December 23rd, I think it was.
I did like that once he grabbed the title, he got on his knees and was thanking Kenny Omega for that match. That was really cool. That was a
like
good
the way when he got to it, so he came like face to face with him and he had that conversation. Like I was like, you're not asking him if he's injured. I mean, he said thank you. I know that they had a lot of heat going in that match, but it was a solid wrestling match.
That was one of the better matches I think I've seen this year.
Well,
really, you think 5-star?
I mean, even with my limited doubt, I mean, Dre said it. I mean, that's been a match that's been the fans have wanted for forever.
2 years. 2 years. He had, look at this. He was against Jericho at the very first pay-per-view for the AEW title and lost. He did not have another shot till Omega in the title tournament and was knocked out of it. Then lost his title shot with the Dark Order this summer to then come back after the birth of his son and win the title. I think that was like the fans basically. I remember seeing a sign in the audience saying, "If Paige doesn't win, we riot," which I haven't seen a thing like that since "If Punk doesn't win, we riot."
All right, the second best match of the night was by far Eddie Kingston and CM
I don't want to say that was the best match of the night. No.
Because here's why for me. I'm gonna say for me, my personal opinion. So for me, that was the match of the night because I'd never seen Eddie Kingston as a good wrestler. I've never seen him as a good competitor. Never cared for Eddie Kingston. Way they handled each other, that was something for me. It was just like a great all-out, drag-out fight, and it wasn't like a sanctioned wrestling match. It was a fight. And that's what it was. So that took the second one for me.
Interesting. Okay. I would have gone with more of either between the Lucha Brothers and FTR, not because I have them in my league, because I think their match was freaking amazing. I would probably say between them and Ty Conti and Britt Baker.
That was a good one.
I think because Ty Conti really, I mean, they kind of set her up to be like a loser for the match. Like I knew she wasn't going to win it because their women's division just is so not where it could be. Like they have Ruby Soho, Ty Conti, Anna Jay, Penelope Ford, You have so many women in that division, and
Let me say something. AEW has something these days that a lot of wrestling companies don't have.
which is
They have legitimate storylines that are created by the wrestlers. And when you see stuff like that, when you see what was the match? Darby Allen versus MJF.
the opener for the show. That was another good one.
Oh my god, dude. That was an amazing match.
That was a barn burner, but I hated the finish.
But here's the thing. I don't mind the finish, and here's why. Because MJF is perceived as the asshole, right? He's the guy that nobody wants to hang around besides his pinnacle. He, to me, is just like Mr. Perfect. Like, I'm better than you in every single way, and I will show you how I'm better than you in every single way.
But Bret Hart, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, hands down.
Yeah, but he was never an asshole about it, and Kurt Hennig
Yes,
was.
he was. He was a heel. When Bret Hart was a heel, that was the line. He would say, "I'm the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be."
I don't know, I never seen him.
Every time he said that to me, it sounded like him being a crybaby.
Now,
I'm the
granted, I
best
agree
there
with
is,
that.
the best there was, the best there will be.
But he still was a good worker. I think he's not a good worker like Hennig, because Kurt Hennig was way better a worker. I'll give him that much.
I think that's what I see when I see MJF is another Kurt Hennig, another Mr. Perfect type character. So
But see, I see that with Darby Allen. I see a Jeff Hardy that's not addicted to drugs and that is gonna like actually perform. Because Darby's is over. Let's be real. When MJF can we all four of us agree that when MJF called out the four pillars of AEW, the young guys in the company, he was right? Can we say it's him, Sammy Guevara, Jungle Boy, and Darby Allen? Can we agree that those are like the Mount Rushmore of young talent that we could see the company going for 10 years on
him,
them?
Sammy Guevara, and who?
Him, MJF, Sammy Guevara, Darby Allen, and Jungle Boy.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
I would have added.
I don't think I would add anybody to that. That's a good four pillars.
I mean, Jungle Boy is extremely talented, and I mean, he on name recognition alone, the kid can carry. Plus, he's just a good wrestler. Like he puts on a hell of a show.
He did.
I mean, look at Luchasaurus. I love Luchasaurus, but Jurassic Express is Jungle Boy. Like they don't even call it, like now when they come out, they don't even come out as Jurassic Express anymore. They come out as Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
Okay.
What do you guys think of Miro right now? I'm curious. What do you guys think about Miro?
What do we think about what?
Miro.
Ooh.
Like, what do you think about him as a
No.
main event guy?
I mean, I think he's a main eventer no matter what, but I don't see him up there. I think he can be a great TNT champion. He could even go to IWJ, blah, 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 New Japan and fight for the championship there, but I don't ever see him like holding that title, like holding the man. He's the man of the AEW.
I mean, if he's booked right, I can see it, but
I like Miro. Don't get me wrong. He was Rusev Day was one of my favorite things for his time, but at the same time, I've never seen him as the top dog of a company. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think he had bad booking. That's just me.
He's in a company that's got so much talent.
You're right. And that's why Jay Lethal's walking in. to like a saturated roster.
I don't know.
It's one of those things. It's tough. It's really. I think the state of wrestling has reached a renaissance, but I think that we're in that renaissance of like, are we going to see like Buddy Murphy just came back, Bronson Reed came back in New Japan, and Buddy Murphy wrestled Okada. I mean, that's huge. You are a cruiserweight champion in WWE, this lackey to Seth Rollins, and then you wrestle a 2-time former IWGP Heavyweight Champion in Okada, the king of the 5-star match. And then Bronson Reed comes back and shows that he's a badass too.
He's still the best kept secret. Nobody really gives him any recognition, and he's like, he could be a top dog.
Oh, Bronson Reed already. He came out and made a promo with Moose, because supposedly Moose wrestled in New Japan at the event this past weekend, and he cut a promo. He's a heel. They made him Bronson Reed a heel, which I think that's okay. But he came out and said, now the chains are off, you're gonna see what real damage is. And I'm like, okay, like I'm with it. Like, let's see this. Let's see what you can do.
All right, so let's do this. Who is the top 5? Your top 5 stables of all time?
Top 5 stables, all time.
All time.
Shit. Every time he tells me to do a top 5 on the top of my head, I feel like I miss a stable or I miss a person.
I want to see how original you can be with your top 5. I don't want to. We weren't all around to watch like the Four Horsemen.
No, we were able to watch a version of the Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
Between me and Smitty, we're the oldest too. So there's a damn good chance we would be able to have said we could have seen the original Horsemen.
I saw the later version of them
older
with
version.
Malenko and
Mongo, Malenko, Benoit, and Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to say the Horsemen were the best of all time, but I feel like you got to put them in the 3 because the DX was. I mean, I put them in the top 5. I mean, NWO,
Wolfpack,
the Wolfpack NWO, the Latino World Order.
Ooh, yeah, they were all right.
If we're gonna add like some really random ones, the Kingdom from Ring of Honor, Matt Taven, Matt Taven, Matt Hardy, and Mike Bennett. I mean, that's another one that's a best kept secret. I mean, obviously Bullet Club. I mean, duh. But I don't want to put them as number 1 because Bullet Club now splintered into like 4 different factions. You have Bullet Club Darkness, Bullet Club OG, Bullet Club USA, and then the Elite.
The Radicals.
The Radicals.
The Radicals were probably top 3.
You find me a 4 that are better than those.
Say the Brood.
No.
There's so many now. Like Bob's saying the Radicals, and I cannot argue. He's right.
They're top 3.
I'm just saying, you find me 4 guys better than those 4.
I can't. On that list alone.
I'm on vacation.
Nation of Domination.
I mean, that's another one. The Main Event Mafia. They're stable.
TNA didn't really do that for me.
Yeah, but TNA had stables. You had you have to look at you had the Main Event Mafia. You had the Brood. I mean, if you look at just who's bred talent from
So what we'll do is we're going to do 1 to 5 or 5 to 1, in the comment. You're going to post a comment in the comment section, 5-1, and then we'll talk about each other's lists.
Yikes. All right, let me actually open up the comments. Wait, in our private chat or the comments? 'Cause I can't post a comment.
Comments.
Oh, I have to go to the
On
YouTube
StreamYard.
video. Let me go to the YouTube video.
All right.
I mean, while we're doing this, can we talk Eternals? Oh, well, we lost JC. Well, that's fun.
No, I
Did you
haven't
guys-
seen Eternals yet, so
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
no,
Okay, so we can't. Let's not talk Eternals.
that's not.
That was that talk. Love it. Oh, they did Being the Elite today. I gotta watch that. Oh, and Jim Cornette posted about Jay Lethal signing.
All right. I'm figuring them on that.
Ah, Jesus Christ!
I've
it's
got
gonna
some
make-
like
Fuck.
unique ones.
Oh, crap. This is tough when people ask me to do this. Like I always forget. Wait, private chat? Why do we have a private chat?
That's just for us. Us
Oh, I thought he wanted us to type it in the comments of the yacht
Yeah.
the YouTube.
Yeah, type in the comments of the chat.
All right, so I went to the YouTube channel. That's why I have. That's why I'm like.
That's what I was trying to work on doing.
Yeah, like I'm over here looking at this screen, but I'm actually looking at the screen over here, which has you guys, and then the screen over here that has the.
I'm
actual,
putting it in the YouTube chat. So
Yeah, that's what I'm doing
All
too. So, all right.
All right. Hang on. Let me open up YouTube.
All right.
Where's the volume? Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to them right now. No, because that doesn't really. They haven't. Can we use something that's only been around for a couple of years?
yeah,
All right, because I'm gonna count that. Folks, and my list is definitely going to be different. So don't hate, appreciate.
like I said, I don't want to see those generic answers either.
I'm not doing generic.
I'll trade those.
Oh. And I'm actually going to give this one, and I know I'm going to get tons of flack for it.
I gave you mine, so I'm waiting for the flack.
The shield.
I put the Shield. And I will say the
Number
reason
one is number
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, they're the only faction besides Evolution to put out a world champion out of every member. And have all three
I
members
had two out
in
of
Triple Crown.
I had 2 out of 4. My
Think
number
about-
one,
think-
but
But think about that. Think about that. Evolution had no Triple Crown champions. Nobody's been a there's multi-time champions, but nobody's been a bigger champion than every single member of the Shield, where they held every belt. They were all Grand Slam champions, all three. That is a rarity amongst any faction. And they all three produced world champions. Crossing brands, because I will count Moxley. Get well soon, Mox. We miss you. The Hart Foundation definitely would have been I like the Hart Foundation.
All right. Sorry about that. I'm back. What did I miss?
No, I said I was like, basically, I feel that like the Shield
You put the
produced
Dungeon of Doom.
the most grand slam. The Dungeon of Doom, definitely, that's a great faction.
Wasn't that the WCW one?
Yeah, the Dungeon of Doom, but they were old school though. That was Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah,
That was Ming,
Sullivan.
that was Ming, the Barbarian, and then you always had that fourth slot rotating around. NWO. I love how you said the Wolfpack NWO, then NWO. So like, you have to understand the
I
distinction.
thought Wolfpack was better, honestly.
Well, that was
I personally, I like the Wolfpack better, but that's I think NWO had a bigger influence initially, or overall than Wolfpack did. So that's why NWO
honestly, for me, the NWO, for as big as it was, I thought it was. Yeah, y'all can fan me, but NWO did not age well.
No.
And I think the fact that they brought it into WWE was trash. They should have left that at the door.
We didn't
And
need to see Shawn Michaels.
I mean, yeah, Shawn Michaels. Yeah.
It's just Joe. It's just our personal preferences of who were some of our favorites growing up.
Yeah, Joe. I mean, if you want to throw one out there, by all means, put it in there.
Yeah, I mean, because we are kind of looking at best groups, but I did look at who were what championships they each held, what impact that they had. I mean, DX is 20 plus years. NWO.
I was just saying, you put.
Mine are all old, yes.
I get the
mine
show.
are
I
all
love
older
the show.
ones.
But if you put them up against the Heenan family, they're losing.
No. If you look at the Heenan family, I mean, you had, again, it's different time. That was the territories time, to borrow a phrase from Jim Cornette. You had these guys travel the road 350 days out of the year, and they were wrestling in different territories for different companies, honing their craft, versus being in WWE doing sports entertainment. So the Shield wouldn't even be on the list if you were looking at pure wrestling. But I think for sheer level of championships, they dominate next to Flair. Because Malenko was never a heavyweight champion. Mongo McMichaels was never a champion. He held, I think, the TV of the United States. That was it. I mean, the Un-Americans, that was Rusev.
No.
Or wait, you're talking the Iron Sheik
was Christian, Lance Storm, Test.
Wow, that's obscure.
There was another one. What was the other one? Christian, Lance Storm, Test.
They're all Canadian, so
yeah.
Put in any Canadian wrestler. No offense to Canadian people, because we do have a fan in the chat from Canada. The Nation of Domination.
William Regal.
I do have to admit this. At least Bob and I picked a lot of the same, because the Wyatt family. Can we give the Wyatt family its due? Rest in peace, Brody Lee.
Oh no, they were. I don't have a problem with that, with them being on the list. I mean, they and for a while they were the dominant faction,
I mean,
hands
even
down.
if you broke them up, they still were a dominant faction, which is very
yeah.
true.
Individually, they were all great wrestlers.
The Dark Order. How about the Dark Order? We didn't even think of even put like I put the Inner Circle because I mean like individually the Inner Circle minus Sammy Guevara because he's still relatively new. I mean the Jericho 50 years old and still wrestling. Jake Hager, MMA superstar, former champion. Santana and Ortiz, former members of LAX. You know,
I agree with that.
multi-time tag champions, hell of a great wrestlers. You know,
I agree with that statement right there. Just when it was Hogan, Nash, and Hall.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
When they started bringing everybody else in, that's when I started watching WWE more and more.
But
see,
honestly,
I don't know if I'd say that was the Monday Night Wars, though. I think the Monday Night Wars really started when Bret Hart when it was the Montreal Screwjob. If you really are going to call the Monday Night Wars when it started, Montreal Screwjob, because we knew the next day he showed up on Monday Night Nitro with he was trying to leave with the belt. Vince screwed him, and they're trying to replicate that now. So I'm definitely, just me personally, I think that's a huge deal. Just me personally.
Right, let's do it like this now. So now that we have all of our lists out there, let's say why we're going to make a list together. We're going to use these people, but we're going to try to make a reason why they should be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right.
So,
my point exactly with the whole NWO thing is they should have kept it at those three. The minute you saw the downfall of that NWO is when they had the Giant go in.
I wouldn't even say that. I think it was bigger than that. I think it was when you started but the Giant was still relatively new, and I think that they were just trying to help a new guy out because he didn't have I didn't think Paul White had a gimmick at that time except for being just the Giant.
But with that, they to help out the Giant, if they didn't put him in the NWO, you have him and Paige and Sting go after the NWO. Because the Giant could have been built as a one-man wrecking crew to help counteract the NWO, but they didn't do that. They just put him in the NWO, and that was that.
That's a hell of a good reason. I can't argue.
There was no faith in him.
Well, isn't that like Cole going right into the Elite? I mean, I know he's got ties with them and stuff, but
bite your tongue on that. You leave Adam Cole
I know he's your boy, but come on.
No,
I'm expecting you guys to throw shit at mine because mine are all older.
The difference with Cole going right into where he's at is because of the history with that.
Yeah, I realize that. So
monkey wrench into our
what
list real quick. I'm gonna throw a name out there, and you tell me if they belong in the top 5. The Undisputed Era.
No,
that's an era. That's not a faction.
I honestly,
it's a faction. It's Adam Cole.
It's no longer existing. You can, if you look at it, DX is still
okay. All right. Yeah.
Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish. Who was the other one?
Roddy Strong.
All decorated in NXT.
On the indie circuit and NXT, never main evented in the main roster.
He did. Adam Cole had a couple of really good main events.
I would say that would be. I mean, they're a viable faction to put on. That you could put on a list. I mean, I could have put New Day.
Yep, I was thinking the same thing. The New Day, the Bloodline, stuff like that. But
New Day, I think the New Day would actually get it for me because of the fact that they've been around the longest and they're still around, regardless of that they're separated by brand.
Well, and to Dre's point, 2 of them have been heavyweight champion
And one's King of the Ring.
exactly.
currently.
And one has one of the coolest YouTube channels around.
Which is actually in contention right now.
Yeah, we're still waiting for him to come back. Yeah.
Well,
So I think
I look forward to seeing Xavier Woods go over to AEW in the near future, if that's going to happen.
well, the Hart Foundation did have a stable where it was
Brian Pillman,
him,
Owen Hart,
Brian Pillman,
Jim the
Bret
Anvil Neidhart,
Hart.
Davey Boy Smith,
Yeah.
Bret Hart. They were 5-member stable, and they never grew bigger than that.
Which is about what a stable needs to be.
Well, if we argue, okay, let's ask the chat. Chat, what do you guys consider to be a stable? Because by some people's standards, a trio,
I think a trio is a stable.
A trio can be a stable because if we look at it, the New Day is a stable.
Yeah.
But some people consider that it needs to be 4 because that would mean that you could split your team.
No, they were called the Hart Foundation back then.
It was the Hart Foundation. They were not. The Hart Foundation was before Brian Pillman. It was just the tag team. The Hart Foundation was just Neidhart and the Hitman, with Jimmy Hart as their manager. And they grew to when Owen Hart grew to prominence. It became Owen Hart, Davey Boy Smith, Neidhart, and the Hitman. When Pillman jumped from the Indies to WCW to WWE, they became a 5-man group until Pillman stood injured and he couldn't wrestle, and then he ends up committing suicide. Didn't mean to take it to a dark place, but that's just
they were. What about Legacy?
Legacy.
Hey, you guys scoff at Legacy. It had some of the best wrestlers for their time.
Go tell me who. I don't know. I'm trying to remember who was in Legacy.
Ted DiBiase, Cody Rhodes, Manu, Art, and Randy Orton.
You mean Cody Rhodes?
That's what I said. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Manu, and Ted DiBiase Jr.
And out of those, who's been popular and who's actually not suffering indictment right now?
Yeah, I agree. I would definitely say Evolution over Legacy.
Yes, I would put
again. Evolution's another one. Everybody was a champ. Batista, Orton, Triple H, Flair.
I would put Legacy over, or I'd put Evolution over Legacy.
I put Evolution. Evolution. I would honestly, if I had to make a top 5 list and a combined list and say number 1, Evolution would be number 1 because everybody on that group, they all were successful to the point that
they're all going to be Hall of Famers.
And one of them's a Hall of Famer already. 2 of them actually, because technically Triple H would be Ric Flair's a 2-time Hall of Famer.
Yep.
And then you have Batista, another Hall of Famer, movie star, Orton, and Triple H. I mean, it's a hard list to put together when you look at the last 25 years. Would that be a fair assessment? 25 years? That includes the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression. Because the Nexus, what about the Nexus? We didn't even put
the question with the immersion of
All right. What about the Core?
The Core, another group, the Core. Bullet Club. We haven't even added Bullet Club to the list. And Bullet Club could be on there.
Here's the question. With the immersion
Yeah, but you said that earlier. Which version?
What about Fortune?
That's another one. Fortune, I didn't even think about that with AJ, Beer Money, and Kazarian.
They were all champs.
Exactly. Except for Kazarian.
And Kazarian was also suicide.
And so was Christopher Daniels, and he was Curry Man.
And Austin Aries.
What about SCU? SCU. They're another one. The Pinnacle.
I was going to say about so with the immersion of the Pinnacle and with the immersion of the Inner Circle, do we see stable starting to make a comeback? And
Yeah, definitely.
who would be like if you could create a stable in AEW right now? Who would be your 4-person stable?
I wouldn't do a 4-person stable. I would do 5. The 5th guy would be your mentor. I would do something with like Punk. Punk would be your mentor. Just because I think he's been around and he actually did have a faction himself at one point.
Yeah.
I would put in Darby Allen. Definitely because I put in Darby Allen just because I think he is such a great talent that if you mold him the right way, he is.
Do you think Sting's being wasted on him?
Yes,
I do too.
I think because Sting is not a wrestler. Like he could go, but he's not Punk. He's not healthy to wrestle.
He's not as young as Punk either.
Exactly. So I would say if it was me, Punk would be my mentor to the stable because Punk's also amazing on the mic. I would put Darby Allen.
Big.
I probably put. You need a big guy. Andrade. I put Andrade on there because he's a big guy that can move and he's not injury prone. I would put. And if I had to put a team, like a tag team, I wouldn't want to put them. I'd probably put FTR as a tag team with them.
Okay.
And they wouldn't be a heel stable because granted, in that stable I just created, 3 of them are heels. I would have them be like a neutral faction that takes on everybody. Like they would be like the faction. If there was faction warfare, they would be like the neutral line. They would be the guys to hold the line.
All right, Smitty, who's your faction?
Give me a second.
Okay, Bob.
All right. Adam Cole, obviously. And then go Miro. And then go. I'm going to go with CM Punk. I'm going to go with Chris Jericho.
Again, that's a solid stable.
Let me freshen up on who's exactly on the AEW roster right now.
A lot.
I know a lot.
You would have, just in the fact that you have got a guy like you have the Bullet Club, you have the Elite, Cody. Cody would be another one you could put in a stable. I think Malachi Black could lead a stable. He wants to build a stable. That's what he's been saying. He was on I forgot what podcast he was on recently that he said that he wanted to build the House of Black. That's like his stable he's building. You know, you have the Dark Order. You could have taken any members of the Dark Order out and thrown them in my stable because they're freaking awesome. Minus Stu Grayson and Evil Uno because they are the Dark Order. That's their gimmick.
Okay.
Well, if we're following Dre's formula,
I think the formula. I'm going to say this. My formula is something I created based on what I've seen in wrestling over the last 30 years. So over the last 30 years, it's always been one big guy, 2 medium guys, and a small guy, and some sort of mentor. And recently, I would say the mentor would be like the last maybe 10 years. You've seen more mentors take a role, like Flair, that sort of thing.
all right. So if we're doing mentor, Christian.
Ooh.
You have your tag team Acclaimed.
That's a good one.
Your young athletic Sammy. And then your enforcer, I would pull Hager because I like him.
Nice. I think that's a good stable.
I am going to go with the mentor. I'd probably go with Mark Henry as my mentor.
He's a damn good one. Best heel in the game, and was part of one of the most successful.
Muscle too,
and he was muscle.
I would say Hobbs.
That kid needs work.
He
Love
does.
him. He needs work.
And mentor, and Mark Henry would be a great mentor for him. And then I would probably go with Leo Rush as my small, nimble guy.
mouthpiece.
And my tag team, I'm going completely left. I'm going to say Ruby Soho and Tay Conti.
So that's such an odd clash of styles with Ruby Soho and Tay Conti. Yeah, I wouldn't go with a women's division. That's at least me. I don't know if I'd gone with women. No offense to any female wrestlers. It's usually a female stable like the Four Horsewomen would do better. I know that the Bloodline's trying to do that with Naomi. They're trying to bring her in, but I don't see that working. Hey, Vicious, what's up, dude?
I just don't see it work only because it's friggin' Naomi. If it was Tamina
or Natalia,
well, I mentioned Tamina because wrestling.
Sorry, what was that?
Right now.
Say that again.
Actually,
I try to through.
I actually watch Raw, so I'm happy.
I would really go with. Hold on. I would say.
He's right though. Joe's right. You don't see women in stables unless they're valets. And I hate to say that because I'm not trying to be sexist in any way, shape, or form. But the truth is, it's like you don't see a Charlotte Flair for everybody or a Becky Lynch.
I know,
like they shine on their own.
But we're game changers.
But Sanity had Nikki Cross.
Again, Nikki Cross was that rare one that you could pull off. You don't see a girl like Rhea Ripley in a stable just sitting there being quiet.
All right, how about this?
I wouldn't mind seeing her in a stable.
Mark Henry is my
mentor.
My mentor. Let's go with Miro and Hobbs as my tag team.
No, that's a good tag team.
Hobbs and Shaw, what?
My champion, the leader of the pack, will probably be Adam Cole, baby.
Thank you.
No, not Adam Cole. Not with him. Not with. My leader of the pack would probably be.
Dewdrop. My baby mama.
Mm-hmm. You should follow her Instagram.
Dewdrop.
It's a tough one. MJF.
She's trying to fight Bianca Belair.
I mean, they turned her heel, so I mean, it makes sense.
No, I'm going to go with Wardlow.
I was waiting for someone to pick him. The guy.
I'll go with Wardlow for that, for my champion, and for my fourth person, I'll go with Nyla Rose.
All right. Let's do now. Let's do the same thing, but in WWE.
Oh
Okay.
God, you can't.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
you can.
Why not?
All right.
Okay, hold on. Before we go any further, WWE cuts. I know a lot of people are upset about them. I know a lot of people are getting aggravated about it. But I heard something the other day that made me think of why they're doing it. So
Okay.
they are still have a full roster as much as people as they've cut. They were so over budget that they had to let people go.
Okay, I'm not gonna put my 2 cents in on this because
I don't get how they're over budget.
when they just posted that they are well over in their profit margins. And
Right,
they've been
because
doing
they
well.
weren't paying. They didn't have to pay any travel for 18 months. You
Exactly.
put them up in one location.
Monday night, Tuesday, or Friday night, Tuesday night. Do they not have a full roster on every night right now? Now think about that, plus all those people that they cut.
Okay, but you cut talent that you screwed up their fucking gimmick. Let's be real. I mean, like, it's not like you're not cutting shitty talent. You're cutting
And
guys.
you're
like,
overpaying ancient talent.
come on, dude. Goldberg just wrestled Bobby Lashley. Why?
I'm not taking up for them. I'm just saying I understand.
But it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Because to me, if you're gonna make it make sense, you don't post quarterly earnings showing that you've made well over what you had. And like Smitty just said, they freaking covered all the expenses of no travel for almost 2 years.
Hang on.
2 years.
Go ahead, Bob.
This is the equivalent to what I'm dealing with right now as a Disney fan. Disney making money hand over fist. What are they doing? They're cutting stuff. They're charging more for bull crap. All these cash grabs, but they're making money. So WWE making money, but they're still cutting so they can make more money. So yeah, they're going to cut talent. They're gonna call it budget cuts, but really it's just they want to make money and streamline their pockets. So yeah, they're gonna drop talent. They don't care. They have plenty of other people to work. You know, they've lost 18, 20, 30 people in the last couple of months. As long as they have a full roster, they don't care.
A total of 64 people. 64 people in the last 6 months. 64. 64.
And guess what? Disney has cut everything and raised prices.
Exactly. I'm saying you cut 64 people.
And they're making money. So,
let's be realistic. All right. Let's be realistic. The first round of cuts, nobody had an issue with them. A few. Bronson Reed, because he was getting a push. Bobby Fish, was getting a push. There was a lot of weirdness in their cuts. When you look at people like Andrade getting cut, and then the guy proves he's a main event superstar. He's got a pedigree behind him. He's a second generation. Actually, he's a third generation superstar. You have guys like Karrion Kross, Malachi Black, Keith Lee. Why are you cutting A-plus talent that when you put them on the roster, you have Keith Lee beat or in clean at a pay-per-view? Clean. And then you take him off TV because he got sick. He had COVID. He comes back and you give him a shitty gimmick, putting him in dark matches? The guy talks. Braun Strowman. Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt was number one in merchandise sales. Number one, he's beating Roman, your guy. He beat your guy in merch sales, and you let him go?
I
right.
don't disagree with what you're saying. Nothing about that do I disagree with. If they would have cut other people, it would have been better. But
You know
the
what?
matter
At the end of the day, it's Vince's company. He can do whatever he wants. The only person he has to answer to is shareholders. And as long as he's making money for the shareholders, they don't give a shit.
and he's
Exactly.
making hand over fist.
So honestly, the fact that he screws the fans is secondary. Obviously, he's already shown that. It's a business to him. As long as he's making money, he makes the shareholders happy.
Well,
Now,
let's be realistic.
the fact that
First
he
off, it's
doesn't
not.
have something to sell to the stream companies may be another issue. But honestly, I'm tired of talking about it. Because
Yeah, I mean,
Vince is going to do what Vince wants
I like
to do.
Rob's idea. So let's go ahead and go into WWE and do the same thing that we did in AEW. We'll make a roster out of WWE. So, Rob, I'll let you go first.
All right. I'm going to go Kevin Owens. I'm going to go Becky Lynch. I'm going to go I'm going to go with Seth Rollins. And I'm going to go with Tommaso Ciampa.
Who would your tag team be?
I need a tag team.
You could put any of those guys together and they'd be fine. Ciampa and Rollins would be a good tag team. Ciampa
and Owens.
Ciampa and Owens would be hard hitting. Rollins and Owens would be an amazing tag team too. I mean, you can look at it any which way. If I had to put a team together, like a stable, again following Bob's, I'll follow Bob's kind of scheme: 1 woman, 3 men. I would take someone like Rhea Ripley. I would take Finn Balor. I'd take Damian Priest and Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle, Damian Priest, and Ripley are like actually traveling buddies and friends. They all have kind of like a gimmick that works with each other. They're all kind of like this like dark gothic kind of thing. You could build a cool little stable that is kind of like a metal meets like, this darkness kind of, faction. I think it'd be cool.
Bro, like I'm going up and down WWE's roster looking at who I would pick. There's a slot for vacant.
Of course, because they don't. I know Smitty, and I'm apologize. I know I'm very. When it comes to wrestling, I'm very passionate. It's one of the few things I love, and WWE is just something. I've been a kid that's been a WWE fan since I was little, and I can't stand seeing a company take something I love
and shit on it.
And shit on all over it. Like literally, how many minority wrestlers have been world champion? Five. And Keith Lee was in that running. And to have him get like all because of he's hard to work with. And Vince it's like Jim Cornette basically said it best. All the wrestlers that are putting out autobiographies now, like Moxley and a few other guys that are putting out their autobiographies, they're talking about the guys that are like the Vince Stooges that are treating the wrestlers like shit. And I think that's what gets me madder is that it may not be Vince, but it's his stooges. Nick Khan is looking at trying to sell WWE as a streaming platform. Now, If he does, awesome. WWE makes more money. You're right. Hand over fist, like Disney, like Bob said. I just think that when you look at things from that standpoint of where you take the product and it becomes crappy to the point that you're not hiring writers to write wrestling, you keep changing, like who should be like. There's just so much wrong with it that when I look at AEW, New Japan, formerly Ring of Honor, and other companies, I just start looking at like, why isn't it like, why hasn't WWE given me a pay-per-view like Full Gear where I was from bell to bell fully invested for 3.5 hours?
That's a good one.
Ciampa, Gargano, Rollins, and McIntyre.
Yeah.
DIY.
Definitely wouldn't want to run into.
Smitty, you got a stable for WWE?
Sure. If I'm following Dre's model, I'm going to go Booker T as your mentor.
Nice.
Booker T, sucker.
And then I'm taking all three of the New Day.
I love it. Take them all. Just go like this.
Yep.
Hug them. That's a smart move. I would do it.
And then to, reinforce or add to that, I was thinking Ciampa.
He's solid, and he's good on the mic. Every single one of those people you've chosen is excellent on the mic.
Let me do something I always wanted to do. Always wanted to see. My mentor is going to be Samoa Joe.
Okay.
Roman Reigns, the Usos. To me, nailed.
My mentor is Samoa Joe. My young guy is going to be Braun Breaker.
That's a throwaway. I figured everybody would. I figured each one of us thought about that. Unlimited. He's got unlimited talent. I would give him that.
Female of the stable is going to be Raquel Gonzalez.
Hotness.
And my tag team is going to be MSK.
So you kind of sticking in the NXT roots.
Yeah, and then the manager of all of them is going to be Paul Heyman.
See Heyman on NXT. Joe would be better. I think Joe would be a better.
Joe's a great one, but I would like to see Joe get managed by Paul Heyman. I'd rather see Joe and Paul Heyman than Roman and Paul Heyman or Brock and Paul Heyman, because at least I know that they could utilize Joe's fighting skills in that.
Well, I mean, especially with Joe out with that unknown injury before NXT.
Is that a bruised ego, Dre?
I know, yeah, bruised ego, and we don't want you to be in our brand because you're too old. Vince, ageism, dude, it exists. And you're lucky your talent does not come at you and rob you blind of all your money, because that is some bullshit in a quarter. Frankie Monet,
they're not his employees, they are his independent contractors.
It's true.
Well, are they independent contractors especially when they own all the access, when Vince wants all the access?
That's how he gets by with it, is they're independent contractors. That's how he gets away with most of the stuff he does, is because of that phrase. And because when they sign a contract, it's not for WWE, but it's for an independent contract.
I would almost pay money to watch Paul Heyman and The Rock go at it in a promo.
That would, yeah. I was just thinking that when he said that Samoa Joe's solid, but he doesn't need anybody to talk for him. But I would
I would love to see The Rock go.
I mean, yeah, to
one-on-one
Joe
with Paul
G's.
Heyman.
I mean, but Heyman's knowledge of the business, it's unparalleled too. I mean, it's not just his mic skills. Yes, he's incredible on the mic and he's great at selling. But
it's the knowledge of the game, and it's the I can make you like with Punk, I can make you champion for over a year.
What about
Roman?
like
He makes him a
Cornette?
champion over a year. It's the skill and the managerial skills to where if there's trouble, he knows what to do.
All right, well, what about Jim Cornette? I've been listening
I
to a
like
lot
Jim
of
Cornette. I hated him. I hated Jim Cornette so much as Brother Love. I really did. His pink
He wasn't
face.
Brother Love.
It
that
wasn't
was
Brother
Bruce
Love. I'm
Pritchard.
sorry. Huh?
That's Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had it mixed up. What I'm saying is I hated Jim Cornette when he had that style of Brother Love where it was the tennis racket and all that stuff. What are you doing, Robert?
You can't see me.
Jim Cornette was awesome, but Colonel Robert Parker always stuck out in my mind.
Dude, he was so racist though in real life. Like I can't even.
Next week, we will talk about the best managers. We did stables this week. Next week, we'll go over managers.
Heyman, Lou Albano, Heenan.
I want
Nothing.
everybody to bring their
Sonny.
favorite manager next week, and we'll tell.
Heenan.
We'll argue
Heenan's
why
number
they're the
one.
best.
Bobby Heenan controlled so many of the best. Ted
Jimmy
DiBiase,
Hart.
Jimmy Hart. I mean, you're talking 80s
Colonel Robert
wrestling.
Parker.
80s wrestling.
Harley Race.
Harley Race is another good one. I mean, Ric Flair,
Mr. Fuji.
Mr. Fuji, Kim Chi. Can we even forget Paul Bearer? Mankind, Undertaker, Kane.
Cactus Jack.
I mean, he you know,
Sonny.
Trish
Stacy Keibler.
Stratus, Lita. I could keep going.
We'll go.
Little
We'll
Jimmy.
keep going next week.
Little Jimmy. He was
Huh?
he's the big. Come on, he's the biggest John Cena fan.
Who?
Little Jimmy.
Best manager ever.
I never saw him.
Primetime players.
All right, so let's move on. Have you guys been watching Yellowstone?
No.
Nope.
I
I'll be right back.
You got to get on that, man.
Nah, dude. My money.
That
My
would-
money is, I would if I had the monies. Yes, I do not have the monies.
It's on Peacock.
Oh, it's on Peacock. I thought it was on Paramount Plus.
No, it's on Peacock.
Oh, I got Peacock from you. I could watch it.
Well, thanks for
I
announcing
haven't.
that, but yeah.
I haven't watched it, but yeah, I could. I mean, it looks like a good new season because
It's an awesome show. Robert,
What?
you watch it?
Watching what?
Yellowstone.
I have the first two, now the first 3 episodes on Vudu. I have to watch. Obviously, I'm not
You're
at home
caught up
because
to that point, right?
what?
You're caught up to this season, though, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
watched the first 3 seasons. Unfortunately, season 4, I have to. I bought Vudu so I can watch it. I paid $14.99 for Vudu or for the season. As the episodes drop, I can watch them.
Yeah, the prequel is going
Coming
to
out
be
next
on
month.
Paramount.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah, you have 1893 or 1883, whatever it is, coming out next month, and then the 4/6 is coming out soon too, which is that ranch in Texas that they talked about.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I haven't caught up on Dan Brown yet. I'm still behind on that one.
I'm behind on that too. I have to catch
Which
up
one?
on the lost symbol.
Yeah. Me
And it's such
too.
a damn good show. I fell behind. Like I think I'm 2 episodes behind current.
So my favorite part. So we did wrestling, we did TV. Now it's time for movies.
We can't do movies.
Huh?
We can't do movies
Why?
because Smitty hasn't seen Eternals.
Neither have I.
So
I think I'm gonna watch Dune tonight.
I already seen it.
Really good.
I would say yes. If you read the book, it follows the book really, really well.
Was it as good as the first movie?
As the original, yes.
Yeah.
It's almost like you could see the line to where it's the first movie, and almost like verbatim, it does a lot of similar things, just with a more modern twist. I think the actors they chose were solid. Hands down, I was like, wow, I can't wait to see a second movie. And they finally said that we're getting a sequel, which was originally they slotted this to be a trilogy. So
Ghostbusters comes out Friday.
Thursday.
It's supposed to be amazing. My friend Dougie got to see it at NYCC. They gave the guys that went to the panel. They showed them the whole movie.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but fantastic things. I'm actually thinking I might go Thursday night once the wife gets back from work and go see it, because I want this. That's one I've been wanting to see, and I got a free ticket after I saw Eternals because I have my points from Regal. So I'd like to see that. Like, just because I think that Paul Rudd is an amazing actor. We haven't had a good Ghostbusters movie, and I say good in a long time. No offense to the girl Ghostbusters. I think that would have been awesome if they took it a little bit more seriously than make it like a freaking joke movie.
There's the Street Profits.
Do.
All right. So
actually, as far as movies are, I mean, is everybody here planning to see Spider-Man? As I know I am.
Spider-Man?
I will probably try to see that.
Comes out,
yeah. Beautiful.
Is there a Spider-Man? Is there a new movie coming out?
A what?
Is there a new one coming out? I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, No Way Home.
Oh, well.
And then
I guess I'll watch it.
It was announced on Disney.
The new trailer airs tomorrow.
To get his animation TV
freshman
series.
Year.
Yeah, he gets an animated series. Moon Knight had its trailer, which looked dope as hell. The costume is amazing. That's the one thing we should have talked about. We can't end TV or movies without talking about Disney Plus Day. I think, hands down, some of the best stuff I've seen out of Plus Day was Moon Knight. They hinted at Blade. We didn't really get to see anything for it. We got the Groot Christmas special. They talked a little bit about She-Hulk. We know we're getting the Marvel Zombies TV show, which is going to be freaking awesome. I mean, hands down, I'm going to take them off of here because I love it. Bam.
We will see. We will see.
Marvel Zombies. Now, it would be a fun crossover if they did the Marvel Zombies, but then they had Rick from The Walking Dead come in and help fight against the Marvel Zombies.
Actually, if they did it the way they did it in the comics, there was the first series that started in the Ultimates as the fan. If you did it the way it was supposed to be done, it was the Ultimates universe where Reed Richards opens that alternate reality and he ends up finding the zombie plague, gets bitten, and it spreads it across all of Marvel. And then there was only a hand-picked group of 6 heroes that survived. And then there was a second series where they ended up fighting because Galactus's head had supposedly like a big chunk of the virus in it, and it was still spreading. And then the third one was Ash versus the Marvel Zombies, which I thought was a great crossover. And then I think there was a fourth one that was anime style, and it was kind of interesting, but it was mostly like it was an anime manga style. I mean, it was really short lived, but I have high hopes.
So Marvel gave Funko the idea to overrun an idea.
Yeah.
The biggest announcement for me coming out of the Disney Plus day was the live action X-Men 97 movie.
I didn't think it was live action.
No,
it's animated.
They said it was going to be live action.
No, it's animated because the animator from the What If cartoon series is doing it. I have the pictures on my phone. It was all over Instagram. I saw it today, and I said, "Wow, that looks dope as hell."
Okay.
Yeah, here it is.
Cool. I apologize, but that's what I'm excited for. Like, I grew up on X-Men, and I collected the Fleer cards. I collected everything X-Men.
That is my absolute favorite Wolverine image.
I don't see Wolverine there. I just see two Batmen kissing.
Look at that Psylocke, though. Like, getting the What If artist to step in, I thought was awesome. And, like, it's something we don't get to see often, that they get, like, an animator that's that solid to do 97. And 97, I mean, come on, folks. We grew up, for all four of us in here and a lot of the people that are fans of our show, X-Men the Animated Series was the quintessential modern comic book brought to life. You had Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, you had Spider-Woman, you had the Fantastic Four, but you had the X-Men. That was like Marvel's greatest thing in the early 90s. That was cartoon. I mean, I remember watching it. It had the love triangle. They did Age of Apocalypse. They did the Bishop storyline. They did friggin' the Shi'ar Empire. I mean, X-Men, the Academy one that they did on the CW, which is the WB. I didn't think that was good. X-Men Evolution, that's what it was called.
Are y'all busy Black Friday?
Wait,
other than being on vacation? No.
I don't know why. Like I might be. We might go out to like one or two stores, but they're going to be home.
I was going to say, why don't we do like a live reaction to Hawkeye?
Hell yeah, I'm down for that. I'm
like, we all watch Hawkeye together and do a live reaction to it. Obviously, we can't put it on here, but we can watch it individually while we're being filmed. And
yeah, that's cool. That's
talking
cool.
It out.
I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing Hawkeye. That was,
yeah.
I mean, I am a little curious how they're going to do the arc now with Florence Pugh or Pooh. I don't want to say Pooh, like, because I think of P-O-O, not P-U-G-H. How they're going to have her as Yelena Belova. Like, are they going to, because of the whole Scarlett, Johansson, Black Widow conspiracy, are we going to really see something that's going to, like, formulate out of that?
Well, she's casted in Hawkeye.
Yeah, but so the funny thing is, we have yet to see her in any of the commercials. Any trailer that they've talked about, she's not in any of them.
Fine. That's great. They can't show you everything in the trailers.
I'm hoping.
Come on.
Well,
I mean,
no, I know. I just after the big come on, dude. After
my
Black
big
Widow
thing for
reveal,
and all right. Lately, I've probably been the cynic of the group on a lot of things. But I will give Disney credit for this. You go from Thanksgiving to the end of the year with Hawkeye, and then you go right into Book of Fett. That I will give them props on.
That was smart. They needed a Star Wars
smart.
series. They needed a Star Wars series because
what's after Fett?
But hang on though. But then also for my own personal sanity, New Year's Eve.
January, we got
New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
Cobra Kai season 4 comes out.
Exactly. That's what me and the wife watched. So I'm excited.
Terry Silver coming back with the silver friggin'.
And JDF is on the show.
It's not even Karate Kid no more. It's like Karate middle-aged adult.
Shut up! It's gonna be good. You talking so much shit, but you know
Roman Reigns. Shut up.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna watch it. I don't care for that show.
It doesn't care for you either.
Exactly. How do you not like the? You have no soul. How do you watch
Ralph Macchio's not crying because JC doesn't like his show?
Exactly. You realize Ralph Macchio
got like a Ralph Macchio project that he's working on. Kid.
What else was there for Ralph besides the Karate Kid? Beer League?
Actually, I will give Ralph Macchio. He's working on the Eternals current storyline in Marvel right now. He's guest writing. I didn't realize he was that big a comic book fan.
Hey, when are you going to watch Eternals?
I don't know. When is it going to come streaming?
Christmas.
There you go.
So we can't talk about Eternals until Christmas?
Maybe I'll go to the movies while I'm on vacation for 17 days.
Shit, I want to.
Yeah, Rob. Robert, you know how I can afford that? I'm going to my parents.
We will buy you a movie ticket if you go watch Eternals.
I'm here now because my parents, so we're good.
You hear me? We will buy you a movie ticket if you go watch Eternals.
I don't need you to buy me it. I'm just.
He's gonna go next week. He's gonna be when he's at his parents' house. Let him rock. I could wait another week. I mean, I'm more excited for Hawkeye. I got Ghostbusters this week. I got Spider-Man in like a month. I got Hawkeye next week, and then I got Book of Fett, and then I got Cobra Kai. I am not at a loss for TV shows. Like it's right now. This is the advent of good shows. You know, Walking Dead's finally ending. Thank you, God.
Yep.
It needed to end like Supernatural. Supernatural needed to end like 3 seasons before it freaking ended. This is the same thing. This show needed to end like 4 seasons ago. They could have ended at Negan and I would have been happy.
Sorry, Joe. It's just not my movie. I've never cared for Karate Kid. Never cared for Wax On, Wax Off, all that stuff.
Wow.
So, to each their own, right?
There's to each their own, and then there's like classics that you never say. Goonies. We could all agree, Goonies, especially you that's a huge Goonies fan. Goonies is quintessentially one of the best kid movies we grew up with. Hands down. Lost Boys. Everyone is seeing the Lost Boys. Thank you, Joseph. If Liz was here, she'd agree with me too. I could go down. I could run.
I can't say because she hasn't seen a lot of movies that you would have expected people to have seen, especially with her background.
But you know what? She agrees with my passion because she knows it's like everyone's seen Rambo, everyone's seen Terminator, everyone's seen Home Alone, everyone's seen. I can go down the list of every pop culture movie. At least 90% of the, based off my wife alone, who is not into pop culture a lot. I love you. You aren't though, baby. It's just I'm just saying.
All right.
Has
she seen any or all of The Godfather?
She's you seen The Godfather, right, babe? She has to think on that one. I know I have. I've read the book too.
Yeah, Liz has never seen The Godfather.
Woo!
I get that. I understand. Any of them. My wife has never seen Goonies, and when she did watch Goonies, she fell asleep, which pissed me off. But here's the thing: is like, I'm gonna tell a little bit about myself, and I know a lot of people aren't gonna like this, but I don't care. I do not like Top Gun.
Wow, the wife's not gonna be your friend now, babe. You don't like Top Gun.
Brash.
It's just not fair.
Dirty Dancing.
It's just not fair.
She's mad at you. She mad.
Dirty Dancing.
Oh, she gonna kill you. No, shut up. There's
Your
no
wife's
saying
gonna kick your ass for that one.
My wife knows I hate those. I watched them once or twice with her, and I was done. I was like, if you watch that again, I'm not gonna be in the room.
But see, Joseph said it. They're to each their own, but then there's classics. Everyone's seen classics. Legend.
I don't like those two. I don't like Pretty Woman.
You have no soul, my friend.
There's certain movies I don't care for, and Karate Kid was one of them.
How? Karate Kid was like that's like saying you didn't like Jaws.
You didn't like Jaws either.
Didn't like Jaws.
Oh, I mean, I'm terrified of the ocean.
That's why a lot of people didn't like Jaws.
But I didn't
Just like a lot of people don't like it because they don't like clowns. Yeah.
But I still like it because I've seen it and I've read the book.
I mean, I understand some of it, but
I like that nobody likes.
Like
so,
what?
Huh?
Like what? Name something you like that nobody else likes.
Huh?
Roman Reigns. Name something JC likes nobody likes. And survey says Roman Reigns #1. Ding 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 ding.
I don't go for the common. Let's just say that.
Neither do I. I've seen Blade Runner. Blade Runner is the most obscure sci-fi cult.
Hey, no.
It is. It's not now because of the remake of the sequel that came out. But Smitty,
even then it wasn't.
My wife didn't watch Blade Runner till it was a class that she had to watch it, and then I was like, "Oh, we get to watch Blade Runner." My wife never saw The Warriors. Warriors is a freaking amazing movie.
Warriors, come out and play.
Come on, exactly. Everybody here knows those are classic movies.
Yeah, but well, first of all, for 3 out of us, I mean, it was a New York-based movie that was.
Well, I mean, to be fair, JC has Footloose.
Not even Footloose.
That's one of those. Hold on.
And also
That's one of
Oklahoma.
those that everybody hates on, like the remake of Footloose. Everybody hated on. I like that one. It was
No. That's yeah. I hate on the remake because it's the original was classic and you shouldn't have touched it.
No, God, no.
Could you take these?
That's
I
sacrilegious.
like the remake of Karate Kid. I just don't like the old one.
You're an idiot.
No, you're an idiot. How the hell do you say you don't like the original, but you like the Jackie Chan Chinese wushu, not karate, wushu? Jaden,
I didn't like that.
Dre, it's not even that. You like Jaden Smith over Ralph Macchio.
No, I don't. I mean, I maybe watched that movie half the time. I just wanted to see your reactions on
Back to the Future. You see it Back to the Future.
I love Back to the Future.
That's a classic.
Back to the Future.
Back
to the Future top 5 franchises.
You've seen Star Wars.
Yeah.
You've seen Spaceballs.
Yeah.
All right. Again, cult classics. You've seen Clue.
Howard the Duck.
Okay. Again, Howard the Duck. You've seen. You've seen the original Blade. Right.
I've seen all these movies. I've seen every one. There's just some that I don't care for.
Top Gun. How do you not like Top Gun? If you said Days of Thunder, I would be fine with that. If you said Interview with the Vampire, I'd look at you a little weird, but I'd understand it.
I love Interview with the Vampire.
Compared to the book, I could, all right, I could give you a buy on that one.
I love Interview with the Vampire. I love
Interview with the Vampire is fantastic. I mean, it had too many great actors in it. It was like the first time I'd seen Antonio Banderas like in a movie where and Kirsten Dunst, it was her first movie. I mean, come on, man. It's a classic in and of itself. I mean, the fact that they're remaking it, I don't like that.
The book is a classic.
I agree with you, and I read the book in middle school or high school, I should say. But I mean,
first of all, obscure. We can go with Repo, the genetic opera.
Exactly, that was a good one.
That's freaking that is obscure.
Queen of the Damned,
loved it.
It's not obscure.
Once again, if you're an Anne Rice fan, it's not so obscure.
I was an Anne Rice fan, just so whenever they made the movie, I just automatically.
Shawshank Redemption.
I was a fan of Aaliyah. That's why I watched it.
You saw Shawshank Redemption.
I love Shawshank.
Okay.
Greatest movie ever made.
That definitely was a great movie.
I like all these movies. It's just there's some
Karate Kid and Top Gun. I mean, dude.
Well, my brother made me take him to go see that at our local dollar theater in the 80s. So I probably saw Top Gun in the theater like 30 times.
I'm sorry.
Did you hear my wife when she said to me?
But
you're that old?
Oh, you don't know how old.
30 times.
You don't know how old.
Punishment to me.
Babe, listen. Me and Smitty are the old men of the group.
I'm the old man of the group.
I'm with you, bro.
I still got years on you, bro.
Listen, we're the grumpier old men of the group.
Let's put it this way. All right. 76 Battlestar Galactica.
I was born in 78.
Yeah. I remember I watched that in the original, when it was first televised.
I was -5 when that came out.
I was -2.
Thank you.
My parents got married that year. I do remember that much. I remember my first movie as a kid going to see Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back with the heads like this. The heads were like all like they were like, because it was widescreen before widescreen was done right. And I remember just like all the heads were like Darth Vader's head looked like a big old phallus. And I was like, why are their heads like that, Dad? And my mom and Dad were like, shut up, it's Star Wars. And that's not even my favorite Star Wars movie. Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah. A New Hope was the first movie I saw more than once in the theater. That was the first movie I saw more than once in the theater.
Interesting, because my movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Jurassic Park, a tie between those two. I saw both those movies.
Because my first movie I watched more than once in the theaters was The Passion of the Christ.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm not judging. I just think that's so cool because we have such a varied taste in like what we saw as movies like coming out. So
well, I mean, that's like more than once in the theater. I've obviously watched a lot of movies, but that was the first one I went and saw twice, just to like feel it.
So you guys got to think like I was brought up on like horror, comedy, and classics. Like when I went to the theater, it was normally for like an old school movie, like Breakfast at Tiffany's. I went to stuff like that at
Jacob's Ladder,
and I waited till like we got stuff like Pretty in Pink on VHS. I love Pretty in Pink. I love all of Molly Ringwald movies pretty much. Breakfast Club was one of my top 5.
Breakfast Club is like, classic.
It's and Ferris Bueller. That's another one.
I hate that movie.
Wait, which one did you hate, Bob?
Huh?
I was joking about.
You cut out there.
I was just joking. I like the Breakfast Club. I love breakfast.
Oh, okay. Breakfast Club was fantastic.
See, John Hughes was one of my favorite directors back then.
Which we've talked about before he passed, like how what his movies that he put out were awesome.
And then when you had the Top Gun people that came in and they were like, oh, okay, this is so much better. And you got to think that was right about the time that Breakfast Club and stuff was around. Ferris Bueller was around. I was like, look at these instead of that. So I got tired of Top Gun. I got tired. I mean, I would rather watch like an Indiana Jones than a Top Gun.
I mean, Indiana Jones in and of itself is a classic. I mean, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders, yeah.
But like, I know there's a difference, and it's just like a different type of movie. But that was my action pack was Indiana Jones and stuff like that. I'd rather see flying in a jet or flying in Star Wars than flying in Top Gun. You know,
well, I mean, that just comes down to sci-fi versus, action adventure. I mean, you're talking genre at that point. Like Indiana Jones, it's like you can't compare Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark with Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, they're two completely different genres of movie, both classics in and of their own right. But you can't. There's no quantitative way for you to go in there and say, "Hey, I love this one more than this one," even though their genres are different. Like I could never put a list. If I had to put a top 5 of horror, I mean, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, the original, It, the original, Exorcist, Damien the Omen. You could go down the list of all those horror movies, Poltergeist. I could go on. But I mean, if we were to do I think maybe we should do that. Like each of us take a list, like a genre, and produce a top 5 list.
I think we
out
should.
of that genre, coming across all movies from all the way from the 70s. At least, well, you can't cover all years, from at least the 70s, like 70 to 2020. You can say 21 because the year's almost out. So if you could come up with whoever wants to pick a genre, I would say do a genre.
Random movie genre.
I would pick. I mean, I could do any genre and come up with something that was awesome.
Oh dear God!
The wheel is back.
Top 5 movies with Roman Reigns in it.
Hobbs and Shaw. Ding 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 ding.
Foreign.
There's actually several. The original Departed.
I know
Crouching
one.
Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Police Story.
Yeah, Crouching Tiger. Yeah.
House of Flying Daggers.
Mad Max, Road Warrior.
Yeah, Mad Max, The Road Warrior. That's Australian. I mean, you could go down the list. There are The Foreigner.
You want a different genre?
Who?
I want a different genre.
That's fine. I mean, are we all coming up with our own lists or?
Yeah.
For it,
Everybody
then pick a different one because.
Yeah. That's not a freaking category. That's bullcrap.
Yeah, foreign is very obscure. You'd have to have seen a lot of foreign films, which I have.
Porn.
Thriller.
Oh.
Now, see, thriller is a subcategory of horror. I would just tell you do horror for that point.
Or you could be like...
I don't watch horror.
Die Hard. Die Hard's a thriller.
No, it's action adventure. It's not. It doesn't qualify.
It's a Christmas movie.
Exactly, and it's a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie.
A thriller is basic instinct. A thriller is oh God, what was that movie with
Robert had one of the best soundtrack songs out of that Christmas movie on his post the other day.
A biography.
All right, biographies.
42.
Let's do a biography.
That's a great one. That's a good one.
JFK.
Next week we'll bring back, because I got to get out of here, but next week we'll bring back, or we could even message each other and talk about one biography or a couple biographies next week.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll put my list together. I think I'm gonna go with I think Smitty needs sci-fi because that's his shtick.
Smitty, will you be on next week?
I can be, yeah. That's not Monday's not going to be a problem. I mean, I'll just set up.
Well, I know you're on vacation.
Yeah, but Monday, I mean, yeah, I can stream Monday from my parents. That's not a problem.
So we'll do that. We'll come back next week. We'll do our wrestling. We'll do a TV series, which I'll let Robert pick this week. Actually, let's do Yellowstone. Since it's
I'm not caught up enough.
Well, I know that's what I'm saying. You can watch Yellowstone and just talk about what whoever's the furthest out.
I mean, this season looks good. I mean, I may just watch the last couple episodes of the last season and watch the first this season of the new season, just to kind of get, because I have an idea of what the show's about. So
yeah, there's a new. Do you guys all have Peacock?
Yeah. Well, yes,
I have Peacock.
Okay, there's a new series that just came out.
Oh wait, Amazon. Wait, we all have Amazon, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I have Amazon.
All right, so Wheel of Time comes out on Friday.
What does?
Yeah,
Wheel of Time.
Okay, let's do that.
we can do that.
I could do that. I could do that.
So we'll review Wheel of Time.
What were you gonna say, JC? What show were you thinking of?
Who?
You.
You
What
were
were you
thinking
gonna
of the
say
show.
from Peacock?
Oh, there's a new one that came out with. I guess it was on Paramount, not Peacock. Sorry.
Oh, Mayor of Kingston.
Yes.
Yeah, I loved it. I watched the first 2
I
episodes
want to watch
of that.
so much. I was like, I seen it the first 10 minutes. I was like, this is gonna be good.
They've got the first 2 episodes. If you've got Paramount, which my brother just got, so he gave me access. So yeah, when that came out Saturday.
Yeah. Same day as Sunday. Same day as
Sunday it came out. Yeah, I watched it Sunday. Yeah, I saw it come up on the thing because I've been catching up on Discovery.
It looks good, so I'm gonna go check that one out.
Yeah,
what is it called?
Huh?
What's the TV series we're gonna do?
Wheel of
No, we're doing Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time.
Yeah,
We'll each come up with a biography and send it to
one biography.
One biography, and we're gonna send it
42.
to I'll send it to Robert. Robert send it to Dre. Dre send it to Smitty. Smitty, you send yours to me.
Or we can just put it in the group chat.
Huh?
We can just put it in the group chat.
Yeah, that too.
Makes it easy.
I was gonna say if we can each watch something that the other person recommended, like we used to.
I mean, I'm down to do whatever. Just as long as I could see it, If I have access, 'cause I don't have Paramount Plus, I do not have. So if it's on Amazon, I can.
So wrestling, TV, movies. What else?
What else? Hey, how much you got? I've got a full week of work, and then I'm going on I'm traveling. How much? How much more homework you gonna give me?
Dude,
You're going on
I have
vacation.
a full week of vacation and then go back to work.
All right. I appreciate everybody that jumped in tonight. I got to get out of here. I got to get home because I don't want to sleep here tonight. So thank you guys for jumping on. My guys right here, thank you guys for jumping on and talking.
It's good to be back.
Talking smack with me. I can't wait to see what we do next week. And then next Sunday, not this Sunday, next Sunday, we'll rejoin Kyle with our D&D.
That's going to be fun.
Okay.
So
you're going to have to remind me during going into that weekend.
We'll have a message that'll come out in the group chat. So
we'll see what Junk got to do with that big ogre that kicked him.
No, I think that was just our intro to get.
Yeah, that was just getting our
Bob
feet wet.
The idea of how gameplay goes.
Yeah,
I'm hoping.
We're going to start an actual campaign. That's what he was saying.
All right, cool.
Okay.
All right. All the way up until then, I appreciate everybody coming on. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, peace out.
Later, guys.
Later, people.